And
I
our
always love the animal
friends
ones.
that,
Those are always
that
the
do
best.
snake, whatever they do. I was going to say snake taming, but they don't do that.
Back snakes.
If you know the Bassettes, they know all about snakes.
I'm marching. I don't know.
All right.
Hey, happy Monday.
Let me turn this off.
The music is rocking and rolling. I hope that you are too. Happy
Monday. Remember that song from the Bangles, Manic Monday?
Monday, Bloody Monday.
So it's funny, since we have this new car now, and
that was the wrong song.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's YouTube.
I know. Just another manic Monday. Mm-hmm.
So no, I've been listening to the XM station, because we have it.
Yeah.
I don't know how long, and so they have the different, decades or whatever.
Okay.
80s.
Yeah.
80s?
And you are stuck where? Where are you stuck at?
So I've been listening to the 80s pretty much, because anyway. And there was a song that came on, and it's just the kids were like, "Why does she keep saying that?"
Because
so it's very repetitive.
I know
back
what it was.
In the 80s.
Was it Ice Ice Baby?
No, it wasn't that, but it was Debbie Gibson's one of Debbie Gibson's songs, and the kids should know it because by the end of the song they had it all memorized.
Only in My Dreams?
No, it was another one.
A different one. All right. Sorry, Debbie.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to. Maybe it'll come to me. We'll see. But anyway, so it's Monday, a new week. Do you like new weeks?
I do.
Yeah.
I love new weeks. I love ending the old week and just kind of like, the sun comes up. It's always great to watch the sunrise. And actually the moon did you see the moon setting today as the sun was rising? Big full moon going down. It's beautiful.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's beautiful. But
I'm focused when I'm on my run.
Speaking of that, so last night I went out as you and the girls were shopping. One of our daughters is in town, so you were out doing your little thing. Yay. Girl time. And I was out surfing because I'm a dude, I'm a bro. And I knew that this was going to be a full moon night where, and for those of you who don't know, and it took me a while to figure this out.
Yeah.
That on the night when it's a full moon, that the sun is going down simultaneously as the moon is rising, which creates this big giant orange moon on the horizon. It's beautiful. And I knew this was going to happen. And so I rushed home.
Okay.
Right? And I ended my session. I wasn't selfish. I rushed home and you weren't here.
I know, but I saw the moon.
You saw the moon?
Yeah, I was tempted to park and walk because we're right on the coast, so
we saw the same moon.
Yeah, it was beautiful though.
So, but I walk in the house and the boys, they've been stuck to the TV. So, so our boys, probably like a lot of the people that play a game called Fortnite. Right, and they are massive tournaments all over the world where people actually win millions of dollars for this thing. But they were.
Some people are very disappointed right now.
I don't know if our kids were playing or watching, which that's an interesting thing that you can watch someone else play.
Yeah, I don't know.
Video game.
What that is.
But they were watching what looked like a black hole. And it had been on for hours. Essentially, what happened it says. The end of season 10, I think is what it was. I guess it has seasons. And if you turn it on right now, as a matter of fact, you'll see the black hole where the scene was, like all the players who were playing, they saw like these stars fall from the sky, big explosion, and now it's just a black hole. So they literally saw that while they were playing. And so everyone's been mesmerized. It's almost like the great H.G. Wells and the War of the Worlds.
They've been just kind of I'm like, boys, seriously, you're just going to sit there and just watch this screen with a black hole on it. I mean, and the thing is that they have it on my phone too, so I never have access. And then they're like looking at my phone, and there's this black hole just staring.
This is news to them.
And then they have it on live stream because they follow certain people that play professionally. Can you? Like they actually play professionally.
So they were
we have some celebrity players that I know by name, and I'm like, because he switched platforms, and now I'm like not seeing him, and I was like, I really miss him. He's not a household.
He's on Twitch now, and we know these things. It's weird that
when you have that many boys in your home. We have currently 4 boys in our home, and 2 girls. But when you have 5 boys, 3 girls, we have 8 kids. They get older. It's video games all day, all night. Well, I don't know.
It's not quite that way, but it's kind of funny because they were watching a dude who was watching it. And so his commentary was hilarious. He's like, oh, I think it's going to happen now. And it's almost like the people who always try to predict the end of time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jehovah's Witnesses. I know this has happened a few times on you, but they basically say a date, or Aztecs, right? They say a date and then it just passes.
It is.
That's what this guy was doing, but with Fortnite.
Yeah.
And so I walk in, I'm like, guys, come on, let's go. This is going to be beautiful. Come see the moonrise. And they all do. They're like zombies. And by the time they get outside, they're awake and alive. And I'm like, I can't really guarantee that the moon is going to be rising at this time. I didn't check. I just think it will be.
Okay.
And one of our kids, Cole, says, Dad, don't worry. It's not that big a deal. We've just been watching, if we've been watching a screen with a black hole that does nothing all day long, it's okay if we wait a few extra minutes for the moon. So that's perspective.
Okay. Yes. In other news.
Give me some news.
Well, I have some other things. Oh, so we kind of heard this morning when we were getting ready for our run. So apparently we have no control over how we and when we cross the roads.
I've known this for a long time.
You did?
I have.
So I've always wondered,
No, here it works.
But I'm like kind of upset. I'm like, oh, we've been on this placebo, kind of thought and placebo experiment with the crosswalk signs. So this morning as I'm running, I'm like, should I actually press it? And I'm thinking, why do I even press the lights in the morning when there are no cars? And it's 6:30 in the morning when I'm crossing the road. No, but as soon as I touch the button, it does change.
It does. Ours works.
So I think I do have control of the A1A and F Street control.
I actually have control over stoplights. I look at them and I tell them to change. I will it to happen. And they do. Okay, I'm just kidding.
I'm putting on my glasses because we're reading the news now.
I do remember working at a place, by the way, where they had this. I was a trainer at a company back in Gainesville, and they had this a thermostat.
Yeah.
And I would always turn it down. And finally, I went to the person that was, because it wouldn't work. I went to the lady and I said, "Hey, my room is hot. I think my AC is broken." And she said, "Yeah, that hasn't worked for years, my thermostat."
I heard that it was in the same news report where it says that they do that with thermostats in offices. They have them set. No one can really, they just give the people the feeling that they're controlling the temperature. So
1 degree cooler.
So let's see. I have a few, and I don't know if they're anything. I'm
do we have anything titled Florida Man?
I should
anything that starts with Florida Man, I think would be good.
Well, we have Florida Woman.
Florida Woman.
I do have one. It's in Australia though. But this one says Florida woman needed surgery after waiter put liquid nitrogen in her drink. Lawsuit claims. So I was looking at it, I'm I don't know, what happened here. So apparently she saw, how they put liquid on desserts and it kind of, so they said, well, that would be, I don't know if they wanted it in their water or not, but the waiter put it in their water. He's like, here, look, it's kind of like you're giving it to your kids. All the women at the table sat and drank it, except one of them really had a severe reaction. So I guess I was thinking you have to be careful, I guess at your own risk, drink at your own risk.
Yes.
But this lady's really serious and she's suing.
This is the opposite.
And it was in Tampa.
This is the opposite of the McDonald's coffee lady.
Yeah.
Right? Who sued because coffee was too hot.
So the other one, the headline, I probably lost it, but it has to do with a snake. And
I always love the animal ones. Those are always the best.
Snake, whatever they do. I was going to say snake taming, but they don't do that.
Back snakes.
If you know the Bassettes, they know all about snakes, right?
Yeah.
If you're watching.
Ophiological Services, they're snake breeders, and they ship them all around the world. It's an amazing thing they do with animals.
You would not, it's beautiful, really. They do.
So we have no snake news.
No, we do. So the here it is. Resident warned as giant boa constrictor at large in Sydney suburb. It's at large.
It's at large.
I just thought that was so funny.
Be on the lookout. We have a giant boa constrictor at large. Like, it sounds like it's Escape from Prison, is what it sounds like.
That's what I'm thinking. I was like, it's at large. So they're saying, be careful because it's been spotted in this neighborhood, and and don't take. Oh, you are allowed to take pictures of it for your social media, of course.
Oh, they clarified this.
Anyway, all right, let's move on to some serious stuff.
These are good things.
If
serious stuff.
Serious. I do like this priest look on you, though.
Yes, well, I have a priestly thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Are you gonna pet me? I like this. So I've been
not
thinking,
in your habit or whatever it's called.
Yeah. It's a hard habit to break. The habit. No, but I work with people, obviously, and help them to be all that they can be. That's a part of my job. And so the nature of some of the things that I get to share in life it's gonna come out of that. And one of the things that I can say without reservation is that every one of us are born with a gift.
Mm-hmm. True.
Whether you're exercising right now or not, and if you've made it to adulthood, it's come out in some form or fashion. And this is the place that some people will call your zone or your lane. This is where things like you are really good there.
Yeah.
And or you have the propensity to be very good there. And I guess I want to share an allegory. This is a story I heard a long time ago. And so there was a man who essentially lived a very poor life, very, very impoverished. He had a couple of children, but again, he was guilt-ridden. He didn't really didn't live with them. There was a separation that happened, and he lived sometimes homeless, but always had very few possessions. Very alone, very just a hard life. It was discovered in his home that the kids came in and they auctioned off the stuff for a few pennies that they could get from it. And what happened was someone purchased something and then and they thought they may have had something in this, and it was a painting. And maybe you've heard this story before. The painting ended up actually being, what is it when they call when the people discover they figure the value, appraised. An appraiser appraised this painting to be a painting from a famous painter, and it was worth over $1.5 million.
Wow.
And the question is if this man had known that he had something of such high value, how would that have changed his life? How could that have changed the way that he interacted with his children? How could that have changed the way that he lived his lifestyle, the joy that he experienced? He literally died from complications that were a lot of caused by depression.
Wow.
So how could that have changed?
If he knew that he had this money in his,
all he had to do was take the painting somewhere, and he could have sold it for $1 million. And
Congo the chimpanzee.
It was not a Congo the chimpanzee painting. It could have been, actually. I didn't check that. Here's the deal. You have a gift, I have a gift, and we can also be like that man with a painting, where we have it somewhere, but it's not actually elevating the way we live our life. And so the challenge is to get in a place where you're alone with yourself, pray, meditate, whatever it is that you do that allows your thoughts to bubble and say, man, what do I love doing? What am I great at? If I could do anything, what would I do? Find your painting.
And find, it takes some time. It does. Sometimes you can, usually it's there's time for it.
And I can tell you this, when you
spend that time, it's so important.
When you stick your head out of the shell, don't expect other people to jump on board with you immediately, because they're used to seeing you as a certain version of yourself. So that when you try to spread your wings and be this other person, it's not their fault that they're hating on you. They just don't know how to react to you. So give them some time to in the process.
Yes.
All right. So this is the word from the Mexican priest.
Okay.
today. You ready for the joke?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Please.
You're gonna love this
laugh
one.
This morning.
All right, here we go. That was a heavy message. I get it, but here we go. Ready? So there is in an oven. These muffins are cooking.
Yes.
And one muffin looks over at the other muffin and says, "Is it getting warm in here, or is it me?" And the other muffin says, "Ah, a talking muffin."
What?
I don't know. I just wanted to see you jump whenever I screamed.
Is this something you made up?
I'm sorry. Is this like when our kids would make something up when they were in kindergarten? The muffin was like freaked out because there was a talking muffin. But then the joke is, all right, so if I have to explain the joke, that means I have to try again.
Well, he usually has to explain most jokes. But...
Okay, so find a good joke today.
Because I'm like trying to understand it. I'm like, okay.
Laugh for a good 7 seconds before you get your day started. See how it elevates you. Here's my challenge of the day. I had something somewhere. I had these little notes, the Post-it notes. Oh. Go write a love note to someone today. That's my challenge to you. It doesn't have to be longer than one sentence. Write a love note on a Post-it or on a piece of paper. Leave it for someone you love. That's the challenge of the day. Have a good one.